The Galactic Integration Academy drifted quietly in deep space, suspended between distant stars like a symbol of forced harmony. Built to represent unity among 7 advanced species, the station looked peaceful from the outside. Inside, however, prejudice lingered in every corridor. In a pristine white lecture hall, Professor Velkatha continued his xenobiology lesson, his 4 icy ocular stalks gliding across a holographic projection of molecular chains. The lecture was dull, but the tone beneath it was not. Maya Rodriguez sat in the back row, her posture straight, her notebook neatly filled with hand-drawn diagrams. She had learned early that drawing attention to herself was dangerous. As the only human exchange student in the academy, she represented a species most of the galaxy still considered primitive. Earth had joined the Galactic Council only 3 years earlier, and many still believed humans had been uplifted prematurely. As you can observe, Beloth chittered, one of Velkatha's ice stalks angling toward Maya without shame. The crude vertebral alignment of humans explains why certain species require external technological assistance rather than naturally achieving interstellar travel. Inefficient bipedal movement. Fragile skeletal density. Maya's fingers tightened around her pen, but she didn't respond. She kept her gaze on the page. 2 months. Just 2 more months until graduation. Beside her, a crystalline student known as Shard of Morning Light leaned closer, its translator emitting a soft whisper. He's unbearable today. Please ignore him. Before Maya could reply, a piercing alarm tore through the classroom. Not a drill. Not a system warning. The invasion alert. The lights shifted instantly to deep red as reinforced barriers began sliding down over doors and windows. Outside the transparent aluminum panels, space twisted violently as hundreds of vessels emerged from quantum transit. Their ships were grotesque, dark, organic shapes reinforced with bone-like ridges. Gasps echoed across the room. Kesh Raiders, someone muttered in terror. Maya's heart pounded. She knew the name well. Everyone did. The Kesh were the threat the Council preferred to deny, raiders who rejected diplomacy, bred for war, enslaved weaker species, and stripped entire colonies bare. Reports of their expansion had been dismissed for months as exaggerations. Velkatha froze, his renowned intellect rendered useless by real danger. Maya watched as a Kesh boarding pod slammed into the station's hull, metal shrieking under the impact. The barriers won't last, Shard of Morning Light whispered, its crystalline body flickering. They use acid cutters. 3 minutes at most. 3 minutes. The Academy's emergency doctrine was clear. Remain sheltered and wait for station security. Maya knew exactly what that meant. She had seen the security teams, methane-breathing peacekeepers evolved on gentle, low-gravity worlds with no predators. Their stun weapons were meant for unruly students, not armored invaders bred for slaughter. Something inside Maya hardened. Not fear. Something colder. She rose from her seat. Miss Rodriguez, sit down. Velkatha screeched. Follow protocol. Maya ignored him and stepped toward her desk. The furniture was designed to accommodate a wide range of species, constructed from lightweight composite strong enough to hold crystalline or gelatinous bodies. She gripped the edge with both hands. What are you doing? Shard of Morning Light asked. Maya lifted the desk effortlessly. It weighed little to her, maybe 30 pounds. She raised it overhead and slammed it into the floor with full force. The desk shattered violently, fragments scattering across the room. Silence followed, broken only by the screaming alarm. 23 alien students stared in disbelief as the humans stood among the wreckage. Maya crouched, selecting a jagged 2-foot shard of composite material. The fractured edge was sharp, the weight balanced. She nodded to herself. The Kesh have thick exoskeletons, she said calmly. But joints are weak, knees, elbows, necks. Hit those hard enough they fail. Her gaze swept across the stunned classroom. We are not waiting here. We are not hiding. We're heading for the emergency shuttles. Anything that blocks us is getting removed. This is insanity, Velkatha shrilled. You're untrained. Maya turned slowly to face him. Something in her expression made the professor recoil. I'm human, she said quietly. We come from a Class 12 death world. We evolved while being hunted. We survived ice ages, pandemics, and ourselves. My great-grandmother fought in the water wars with nothing but a rifle and stubbornness. She tightened her grip on the improvised weapon. Every human is trained for combat. We grow up learning how to survive. The hiss of acid burning through the door echoed through the room. 60 seconds. Anyone who can fight, arm yourselves, Maya ordered. Those who can't, stay in the center. Move fast. Stay quiet. Do not stop. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then Shard of Morning Light smashed one of its own crystalline limbs against a desk, forming a razor-edged shard. Understood. A Valyrian named Glob rippled forward, absorbing chunks of debris into pseudopods. We may be pacifists, it bubbled, but we are not foolish. One by one they prepared. Even Velkatha grasped a twisted metal desk leg, his icy stalks trembling. The barrier finally gave way, dissolving under the acidic hiss of Kesh tools. The door collapsed inward and a Kesh raider stepped through. It stood nearly 7 feet tall, encased in layered armor, mandibles clicking, claws gleaming with fresh corrosion. It scanned the room, expecting helpless prey. Instead it found resistance. Maya stepped forward. There was a smile on her face, one devoid of joy. It was the expression of a species that had reached dominance not through strength alone, but relentless persistence and controlled aggression. Wrong classroom, she said. She moved. The shard in her hand struck with brutal precision, driving into the narrow joint between the creature's head and thorax. The exoskeleton cracked. The raider collapsed before it could scream. Maya was already turning, already shouting commands. Left flank, now. Strike the legs. Another Kesh charged and was brought down as Glob ensnared its limbs, allowing Shard of Morning Light to carve through its joints with crystalline blades. The classroom became a battlefield, desks overturned, debris flying, alien screams echoing. Maya moved with terrifying efficiency, adapting instantly, exploiting every weakness. Her improvised weapon became an extension of her body. She didn't hesitate. She didn't freeze. She let. What had been terrified students moments earlier became something else entirely, a coordinated unit. They covered each other, guarded the vulnerable, followed Maya's voice without question. More raiders poured in and more fell. By the time station security finally arrived, 10 minutes too late, they found Classroom 7B transformed. Barricades reinforced the shuttle bay entrance. Broken Kesh bodies littered the floor. Maya Rodriguez stood at the front. Blood stained her hands. Fire burned in her eyes. She didn't look surprised to be alive. The aftermath spread through the station faster than emergency announcements. 15 Kesh raiders neutralized. 0 student fatalities. Security officers stood frozen, staring at the scene they hadn't been prepared to handle. The Galactic Council had long questioned humanity's place among the stars. They debated whether Earth truly belonged at the table. Whether humans were evolved enough. Civilized enough. Now they had an answer. Humanity didn't ask for respect. They earned it.